Hi everyone, today I'd like to share a strategy with you for an activity with Year 6 students, Stage 3 in New South Wales, based around child protection and child safety. The title of the activity is called Protect the Puppets, and it is loosely based around some of the articles in the UN Convention on the Rights of the Child. Several of the articles in there use the word protection in different scenarios and in different contexts, and so I thought it was important to add that as an aspect of this activity. Now, the activity would start with a class discussion, ideally a brainstorm or mind map on the board, be it whiteboard or interactive, doesn't matter. So the students would discuss a few things. Firstly, what is protection? So what it means to be protected, and what forms protection can come in. Also talk about why people need protection, what kinds of people would need protection, and who they need protection from. So those things, it'd be quite a big discussion, but this would be imperative to this activity working properly. So once that discussion's taken place and you've got a nice list of ideas and scenarios and things on the board, the class will break into pairs, and the pairs will be given a little puppet each or a little character each. Now you can use like a class set of hand puppets, or you can use paddle pop puppets. I would use these guys. These are little characters. They're little toy characters. You can get them in packs of like 50, and they're all different as boys and girls and mums and dads and whatever. You can do whatever you want with them, and they're really helpful in a scenario like this. Now, the pairs are creating a scene. The scene is probably 10 to 30 seconds in length, and it is just a scene that shows someone who needs protection in some way, shape, or form. So it could be as wide-ranging as perhaps a refugee who needs protection from war. She needs a place to stay, a place to sleep, and so sort of the scene can outline who she needs protection from. It could be something to do with sexual abuse. It could be something to do with neglect. It could be anything under that child protection and safety banner they can create, and that all those scenarios would be on the board, or what they've discussed. So once they've discussed their scenario and they've created their little scene, obviously the teacher would be walking around, being part of it, discussing with them, showing them what they can do, what they can't do, things like that. They would then present that to the class, so the pair would get up or from their desk and they would play out the scene. Something like this. So we have one student, student A and student B. Student A is, we're going to play the character of the father and saying, no, you can't do your homework tonight. You have to wash all the dishes and clean your room and clean the kitchen because I have to go back to work. And so, we would then do that as a class, that 10-second scene, and then we would just deconstruct that as a group. So once the class has seen, watch the scene, we would then take a step back and say, okay, who are the characters in here? Who's the one that needs protection? Why do they need protection? Okay, so it's abuse, it's child abuse, it's under the UN Convention, it is, you have the right to protection from any kind of exploitation. So that's using the words from the convention. So basically what we do there is give the children the ability to recognise where there is abuse or neglect or a reason for protection, and respond to that, and effectively seek help. So what we discussed there with the students is what's happening, who's the instigator, who's the victim, who needs protection, how can they get protection, who can they get it from, who can they turn to, all important things, all important avenues that they can go to. This would be a group discussion as a class. Everyone would have input. And then we'd talk about what they could do. If they witnessed this, or if they witnessed a similar scenario, or if this was them, what could they do? And so this gives them a bit of empowerment to be able to stand up and right any wrongs that they may witness. Or if something's happening to them in their life, they know that they have somewhere to go. So the importance of this activity is empowering them and giving them the right tools to be able to deal with an issue like this if it ever comes to pass. Bye-bye.